Welcome to my today's class. Today I'll be taking us on statistics and we'll be focusing on measures of central tendency. Okay, here we have the mean, but we have three measures of central tendency. We have the mean, we have the mode, we have the median. Today we'll be focusing on mean. Okay, what do we use central tendency, measures of central tendency for? We use it in the distribution to determine the central value of that given distribution. So today we'll be looking at mean and we're focusing on grouped data. How you can use mean to determine the central value of a given data, grouped data anyway. So today already I have my data on the board. Here I have the class interval. When you group your data, you have them on intervals, okay? So here is my first class interval 10 to 19. This means that this class contains values from 10 to 19. So we have 11 there, we have 12 and others till 19. So 10 is referred to as the lower class limit, while the 19 here is referred to as the upper class limit. So the next we have is 20 to 29. Okay, this comprises of numbers from 20 to 29. In between you have 21, 22 and others, and so on. So that is it. Now for this class interval, it is not equal because the class sizes are not the same. Here we have 10, 10, 10, but for here we have 60 to 70. So these class intervals are not equal, but that is not the major point of discussion today. Today we are focusing on how you can use mean to determine the central value of these grouped data. Okay, here we have the frequency. Okay, frequency is all about the number of times a value or group of values occurred in a given distribution. So for this 10 to 19, that's the class interval 10 to 19, we have them only twice in the distribution. So that is why we are having 2 here. So numbers from 20 to 29 occurred 6 times, 30 to 39 occurred 14 times, 40 to 49 occurred 17 times, 50 to 59 occurred 8 times, and 60 to 70 occurred 3 times. Now for us to calculate the mean, we need to select a value that will represent these class intervals. Because we have so many values in a class, okay, so we need a value that will represent them. And that value will refer to it as a class mark. Some will call it a mid value or mid point. So how do we find the class mark of a given class interval? For this class interval, we take the sum of the limits and divide by 2. This is how you do it. I'll do for the first one, then complete the rest. So I have 10 plus 19 over 2, and that will give us 29 over 2, and we have 114.5. So that is the class mark that will represent this class. So for the subsequent ones, I'll just put down the values. You can work it out yourself. Here I will have 24.5, and for here I have 34.5. For here I have 44.5, and here I have 54.5, and this will give us 65. Okay, these are the class mark representing these class intervals. Okay, then next we will now take the product of the frequency and the class mark. So we'll multiply 2 times 14.5, and that will give us the 29. Okay, you can punch your calculator to see if that is correct, which I know is correct. So here we have 6 times 24.5, and that will give us 147. Okay, the next we'll multiply 14 by 34.5, and that will give us 483. Okay, next we'll multiply 17 by 44.5, and that will give us 756.5. Okay, next we'll multiply 8 by 54.5, and that will give us 436. The last but not the least, we'll multiply 3 by 65, okay? And that will give us the 195, okay? So we're going to take the sum of the frequency, that is the summation I have here, or you can put a sign, the sum of the frequency, but already I have summation, I may not need it. If I take the sum means to add. You add these numbers, I'll have 50 here, okay? For this, I'll also take the sum, and I will have a 2,000 and the 446.5, okay? Now this is the mean format which I've given us in my previous video, okay? I have summation fx all over summation f, and this is where I ranges from 1 to n, and then we still have I ranging from 1 to n. So for here we have calculated the sum of the product of the frequency and the class mark, and we have a 2046.5 all over the sum of the frequency, which is 50, okay? You now divide. So if we divide, we will have 40.93. 40.93 is the mean of this distribution. That is the value at the center of the distribution if you take it by using a mean, okay? And this is where the value lies, okay? 40.93 lies somewhere here, okay? And that is our answer, okay? The mean value here is 40.3. You can try out with other examples. Drop your comments and questions. Thank you.